before we start this video, a large thank you to Pumpkin Keeper for their support on Patreon. I hope you enjoy the video, my friend. And, as always, a massive thank you to Halo Burner and Ryan Bellin for their immense and continued support of the channel this month on Patreon. It is sincerely appreciated, gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hello everybody, let's continue with our shop system and work on making it so we save the stores you use with AI characters. So let's go to save data real quick, character save data. We're going to scroll down and you're going to see that we have these serializable dictionaries here. Well, we're going to make one, but first let's add a shops header here. I'm going to call this shops, what am I going to call this? Shops generated, we'll say. And we're going to keep just a list here of integers for every shop that we've already generated. Because each shop uses an enum for its ID, which we can use as an integer. And whenever a shop is generated, it will have its enum ID added to this list, and then we know we can check for a shop and actually load it. Okay, so now let's go back over here and make sure you say that that's a new list in your character save data, new list of integers there at the bottom. We're going to say if world save game manager dot current character data dot shops generated contains, and then we cast our character shop ID as an integer, then we know we have something to load. So let's just say return. Now, what are we going to load and how are we going to load it? Well, down here, let's just say shops generated dot add if it doesn't contain it, because if it doesn't contain it, we have to add it to the list and then generate the store. Now, let's go over to our scripts and create a new script. This is in our scripts and game savings, the folder I'm creating this in, and I'm going to call it a serializable shop inventory. And we're basically going to make it so we can save every item in the shop. If we go to our serializable weapon here, we can kind of copy all of this and then make some adjustments. So I'm going to drop in my namespace, delete my start and update functionality as is per tradition. Make sure you say using system.serializable, or it's very likely this is not going to work. So copy that and put that right above the class there like so. Now, what do we need for a list of items? Well, obviously we need a list of item IDs, right? So basically, you got to think about what we need. We're going to take everything. So what is this? It's a list of items. And within those list of items, let's just say using system.collections.generic. Within the list of items, there's a list of quantities. And then there's a list of booleans to determine if they are infinite or not. And that's really all there is. So that's every piece of data we'll ever need, because there's an item. And for each item, there's an amount. And there's also a check for if it's infinite. So I'll make 3 lists, one for your item IDs, one for your item amounts, and then one for if they are infinite. And basically we're going to use these 3 lists to determine every item from the shop's inventory and save it and get it. So we're going to say public list. This is going to be get inventory or get list of items or get items, whatever you prefer. And we can just copy what we've done before. So instead of a weapon, we're going to change this to a list of items. We're going to call it items. And instead of returning the weapon, we'll return the item. And now you'll see we have a function here called get weapon from serializable data or serialized data. Let's go there and let's instead make get items from serialized data. So we have here get weapon. Let's copy that. And I'm just going to put a header for shops down here. Actually, I put it up there, but I'm going to put it down here. So instead of get weapon, and instead of it being a weapon item, let's make it a list of items. I don't know why it's saying item selectors. Whoops, item, there we go. Oh, it's because it's item, not items. And then get weapon will become get items from serialized data. And again, serializable weapon becomes serializable shop inventory is what I call that, I believe. Yes. I'm going to copy that, paste that here. And we just change the names. And basically, I encourage you right now, pause this and give it a try. Try to finish this function right now. Just give it a pause. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and change serializable weapon to serializable shop items. And obviously, we're not getting a weapon anymore. We're getting a list of items. So let's change that into an item. And now, you see how we have get weapon by ID? Well, this isn't one item, obviously, it's a bunch. So what we're going to do is do a for loop, and we're going to iterate through every item ID that we have, and we get an item by that item ID. And then, of course, since the list of items has to be the exact same size as the list of quantities, and the list of is infinite, we're going to assign that item also its quantity, and if it is infinite, via the other values we have. So it's going to look like this. We'll do a for loop through serializable shop items.item IDs. We're going to get item by ID, and we're going to pass serializable shop items, item IDs I. Whoops, not item IDs, item IDs. There we go. And then we're going to instantiate that item, and we're going to pass, of course, again, the item IDs I, if it exists. And then after that, we need to basically assign its value by using the other list. What is going on here? What am I doing? I'm going to say item new item is equal to null. And then I'm going to say new item is equal to instantiate. There we go. Okay. So if the item doesn't exist and you can get it with the list, we're going to instantiate it. And then we're also going to set its value, its amount. We're going to say item is now equal to a new list of items. And then we're going to say items.add new item. So we've made a list up here, and we made an item variable. If the item exists, we find it and add it to the list. So down here, we can delete all of this. And after we have our list of items, you could do an additional for loop, or you could just say new item dot current item amount is equal to serializable shop items dot item amounts I. And then we're going to say new item dot is infinite is equal to serializable items item infinites I. All right, and then we return that list, and that's it. So now we go back here on serializable shop inventory and say get shop items from serializable data. So we can get the items from the serializable data, but right now we can't serialize the data from items. We're going to work on that next. So first, let's go over to our current character save, our character save data. Make a header for. We already have a header for shops. Never mind. Copy a serializable dictionary, and we're going to keep the first value for integer and the second value. Actually, let's just name this shops generated data. So the first value is going to be an int because that's the enum, the shop's ID. The second value is going to be a serializable shop inventory. So we use the enum to get the shop's identification, and then we use the serializable data here to actually get the shop's inventory. So down under here on public character save data, say shops generated data is equal to new serializable dictionary and int and then serializable shop inventory. Okay, so like I said, we had no way to convert this right now though to an actual piece of serializable data. So how are we going to do that? Well, we can go back here to our AI character inventory manager first, and if the shop does have an ID, we're going to say items in inventory is equal to world item database dot instance get shop items from serializable data, and then we pass world save game manager dot instance dot current character data, and then we say shops generated data, and we're going to pass our character shop ID, but we're going to cast it as an int because that is going to be the key we get from this dictionary. So it's going to look like this, if I can actually type right. Cool, excellent. So there is no data right now though because we've never saved it, obviously. This is going to get it if it exists. So if it doesn't exist, we're going to add it to the list. I'm just going to copy and paste this, move this down here after the shop is generated. It's very important, that way you actually save the items. And then we're going to say if world save game manager dot instance dot current character data dot shops generated data contains key, if for some reason it contains the key that we have up here, it shouldn't because it's never been saved. If it does contain this key, we're going to remove it and re-add it. So let's just put brackets there. We're going to say world save game manager dot instance dot current character data dot shops generated data dot remove, and again we pass our character shop ID, cast it as an int. Okay, now that looks good. Okay, right below that, I'm going to say world save game manager dot instance dot current character data dot shops generate data dot add, so the list, or sorry, the dictionary, and we're going to pass our key one more time. But now we have to pass a serialized set of data from our inventory. So this doesn't exist yet, but let's call world save game manager dot instance, and now we're going to go make a function over here because we scroll down, you can see we have get serializable weapon from weapon item. So this basically gets you the serialized data from the thing that you want. Let's make one for items list. And again, I encourage you, pause the video, give it a chance, write it out right now on your own. It's a great learning experience, and you can totally do this. So I'm going to make a list of items, and instead of serializable weapon, I'm going to say serializable inventory. What do we call that? Shop inventory? Man, I keep forgetting. Yes, shop inventory. Okay. Serializable shop inventory. And I'm going to say serialized items. I actually don't have this functionality in Nef at the time of me speaking about this, so I might go back and add this after. So we're going to say get ID. So we're going to do a for loop again. So this is the opposite, right? We're passing a list of items now. We're turning it into this serializable data. So for every item that we pass, we're going to say items I is equal null continue if for some reason it is null. If not, then we're going to add items I to the list of new items. And we want to keep track of a list of new items, a list of quantities, and a list of if it's infinite. So let's just copy these three lists over here and paste them here. And obviously get rid of the public part because this is a local variable in a function. Get rid of the serializable field. And now what we're going to do is just simply, very simply say items I, or items IDs.add, and we're going to say items I.item ID. And then do the same thing, but instead of adding the item ID, just simply add the amount, and then add the is infinite. And that's basically it. And then you're going to return the serialized items. It's just that simple. So you can save pretty much anything like this when you know how to do it. As long as its values can be broken down into, your generic value types, like integers, bools, whatever. All right, and then we're going to simply return our serialized items. And let's just say serialized items.item IDs is equal to the list we just made. Serialized item amounts is equal to the list we just made. And serialized item infinities is equal to the list we just made. And then why is this giving me grief? Right, because this is not the right, there we go. Make sure it says public serializable shop inventory. And we save that and we're good. Now we can call this back on our inventory manager here. We can say world save game manager.instance .get serializable shop items from a list of items. We just pass the items in our inventory. And that should work. So I should probably test it though, because there's a good chance I missed something, as this has never been tested in Nef before. Now I'm going to go down here and say public void. We're going to say save shop data, because you're going to want to call this whenever the shop changes. And I'm going to copy what we just made here about entering the key and removing it from the dictionary and delete it from up here. And I'm going to paste it in save shop data. And then I'm going to say save shop data right here like so. I'm going to do here on buy item. Well, actually, let's go over to remove item from inventory real quick. Say virtual void. I'm going to override it because I'm going to do a check here just because. Let's do override remove item from inventory on the AI character manager. And we're going to say save shop data right above like that. That's probably the easiest way to do it. All right, I'm going to go into the game here now. I'm going to go to my character and buy a spear. And now I'm going to drop back in the game and see if that works through the magic of editing. So the spear should not be there unless I've messed up. I'm going to talk to the character. I'm going to go to buy. The spear is still there, so I've missed something. Okay, so the current item account equals 0. You see what's happening here? I'm going to show you. This is really sneaky. You see how if I go to my dialogue character, there's nobody there? I walked outside the circle but bought the spear. So right now the variable comes undone. So what you want to do is on trigger exit on cancel dialogue event, you want to basically come over here and close the store. So cancel current dialogue event, we're going to say if, and we can do a check here to see if the AI character is a store, and if they are a store, close it. So we can say AI character inventory manager, if the shop ID does not equal shop none, close the shop, because what happened was I bought the bow after walking outside of the dialogue area, and because there was no dialogue target, I didn't subtract the bow from the inventory. I only removed the inventory rather. I just subtracted the value. So that was a good one to catch. If you leave the interaction radius and to shop, close the shop. That should be done anyway. Now we go back and I will buy the item and I'll buy the spear. Sorry, it was the spear or the bow. I can't remember what I tested. Come back and buy it again. Yes, it's working. Okay, cool. So I'll buy the bow and we're good to go. All right, that actually looks really good. So I noticed that a button was highlighted there that time. I can probably adjust that in the future as well. I'm going to go back over to the AI character inventory manager. I'm going to move save shop data after we remove the item because it should save after we buy the item. Now if I go back in, it should be good. So I bought the bow. Yes, it's gone. So make sure you call save shop data after you remove the item from the AI's inventory. And that looks really good, honestly. So on the next one, I'm going to look at any more polish and we're going to finalize the shop. So I'll probably add sorting by item type too. And then we're going to move on to a new topic. So thank you very much again for being here, ladies and gentlemen. As always, thank you so much for supporting the series. looking to start that new series in the near future, have a bit prototype, but I'm still getting lots of requests for ELDEN, so we'll see how that goes. Thank you to the people who take the time to like and leave a comment in the videos. Sincerely appreciate it. I hope you guys all have a very lovely weekend, and I will see you next week.